Hey, everybody. I just want to say welcome to Soul Chats with Psychic Medium Dani Joe. We have a fabulous guest tonight, my friend and fellow medium, Andy Benson. Welcome, Andy.
Good to see you, Dani Joe.
Yes,
Welcome, everybody.
yes. Also, I just want to let everybody know that is watching when you join us, if you don't allow StreamYard, it won't tell us who you are. So I'm going to pull up my phone real quick so I can monitor comments here. All right, looks like Judy and Julie and Deanne, Divana are all saying hello. So welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Yay!
I'm going to go ahead and pull up your live
Yeah.
on another, and then I think I'll be able to see everybody's face
Yes.
that way. Because I know in StreamYard it won't let you.
Correct.
It just Facebook user. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Marcia. Hey, Deb. Hey, Laura. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Cheryl. Everybody's jumping on. So,
Okay.
you guys that don't know Andy, he's one of my favoriteest people, if that's not a word, but favoriteest people in the whole entire world that I've met on a spiritual journey. I honestly was just thinking to myself, Andy, I cannot remember how we met.
Um, I do, and I remember little itty bitty details. We had a mutual friend that had a group, a Facebook group, and this is going back at 2015, I believe, around
Wow.
in that time frame, because that's when I started. And I know after I'd taken an official course, I went online, and I was just like everybody else, probably like yourself or those of you watching, nervous about who do you trust, who do you believe, where do you start when you're opening up spiritually. We met through a group like
Okay.
that, and we were paired up as
Oh, thank
as
you.
she had, I forget her name, but the admin had put us as a group pairing in a group chat, and I think we either tuned into each other or we swapped pictures or
Okay.
something like that. And we were like blown away at each other. We're like, you're right on. Oh my God, you're dead on. Ah, you know, and then it just went full force for me at that point because that first dive, it reminds me of the fool card in the tarot,
Yeah.
which is taking that risk, jumping off that cliff. Um, what follows depends on your free will, your choices. Was it a good choice? And it was risky. I mean, for me, public speaking is not my thing.
That's
No,
so funny.
uh,
That's so funny.
yeah. So,
Hey, Corey. Hey, Lena. Hey, Chandra. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Jen. It's good to see everybody. You guys, this is one of my first friends in this world. We obviously met through a group. I was thinking it was that. I just couldn't remember the circumstances. But
hmm
you and I both know there's a lot of people out there who let ego get in the way. And so you have a hard time remaining friends with people for a long time because of that.
hmm
People go their separate ways. But I've always remained friends with you, even though things have just kind of twisted and turned for each of us. We've always just kind of hung in there.
we
Um,
have.
yeah, and Andy actually hosts my my nonprofit website, so we have that connection too. So thank you for
Yep.
that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But oh, go for it.
And I wanted to add to your point too. It has been kind of one to me, excuse me, I gotta slow down here. I'm kind of nervous. To me, I feel like we've bonded over so many years, but we haven't had like a lot. We've never met in person. Um, but I've gotten a Christmas card from you, or graduation family card. It was something like that when I lived in Montana. I've since moved to Ohio, And I know at some point we were gonna it was probably talked about, but the goal was to eventually do psychic fairs,
Mhm.
before COVID happened. That was kind of my plan. I know you were in the state of South Dakota, so we're
Yeah.
neighbors.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
just,
I don't think we're done working together. I think at some point it's going to come back around full circle, and who knows when that time will be. But so that's actually what I was going to ask you. It's
mhm.
been so long since I really caught up with where you're at. So tell us about where life has taken you. Obviously, you're in Ohio, you said.
Correct. Yeah.
So tell me what you're doing there.
So I had some personal things come up in my life, as many do, and some big life changes for the better. Scary, but for the better. Have a friend in Ohio, so we ended up moving out here, and it's haunted. It's like the biggest haunted serial killer state. That's where they're all born. I like the macabre. Um, I'm sorry, you guys. I try to keep it real because
I love
that's,
it.
anyways. It's just a brand new start. And what I'm doing here is I really have a couple ideas. These people have done this before, but I have recently got on TikTok, which is so fun, anyways. I was so against it, and then I got on there and I got to be hip. So I plan on getting a drone and then going into the cemeteries and doing a live with a ghost box, perhaps, and then creating video and footage that way,
That's
or in different locations, where you know how those shows have those sky views and stuff. Well, you can do that yourself. You just have to be able to just kind of piece it together.
that's
And so,
cool. That's
eh,
really cool.
and I only know how to do that because I worked in a movie theater once, the old movie reels where you had to splice them.
Hey,
Yeah, in my hometown, I did it. So it
how
was pretty
cool that
cool.
skill set comes in later in life,
I
right?
know, except all digital now. So. Oh, North Dakota's here. North Dakota.
Yeah, cool. So you is talking about the macabre. Do you still have your hearse?
I knew you were going to say that. Now, there's been some swapperoos with the hearse. I had to give the one hearse away that had the awesome stereo system in it and the haunted boy named Jacob that was in there. Um,
Crazy.
Now I have one in storage in Idaho. So whoever lives in Idaho, I need a transfer of a hearse. I have a 1969 Cadillac hearse in storage that runs, but it's full of rust, and I've always wanted to redo it. I find it fascinating. And people are like, "Why a hearse? You know, why?" And that's so gross and ooh, or that's really cool. It's kind of like a shock factor. I've always found humor in people's reactions, whether you're serious, funny, or just being gross or whatever. And when you're driving one of those, and it's what I found is that it's served its purpose. It's no longer used to carry dead bodies, or the deceased, I should say. Um, However, people don't know that you're not an active, I don't know, I guess, and they'll tip their hats to you, wave their fingers to you, especially in small towns like South Dakota. I'm sure in those small rustic towns, everybody knows each other, so they'll do that. But in the bigger towns, you don't see that. And people will do that as customary. So that I found that really interesting. I never
That's
knew that.
cool.
Everybody's waving at me.
That's awesome.
Everybody waves, yeah.
I love it.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
So,
Um, so I guess I want to ask you, you've been on a spiritual journey about the same amount of time as I have. We kind of started in it about the same time, but tell me or tell everybody watching, when did you know there was
Oh,
something different for you?
it's kind of where to begin, really. I will try to like sum it up. Just it's kind of very PC for me
Sure.
because I was raised. My background was not supportive of what my belief system is today, involving mediumship and whatever, religion, all of that. That's what I do in my belief system. It works for me. So coming from that, it wa my gifts were kind of I want to say weren't really utilized, or when they were, I was told don't talk like that, don't mention those people, don't talk about ghosts, things like that. As young as 3 years old, I was told by my older cousin that I would see these spirits behind curtains, and it was probably after a funeral or at the funeral parlor, because when I try to think about it, that's kind of the image I get in my head. And so that was years later, until even in high school, and being, I want to say, when you're told not to do something, your rebellious self wants to try it anyways, because what's an experience? It's yourself doing it, right?
Yeah.
So I I played around with, like, I remember playing around with tarot cards and a Ouija board and all this. I'm like, this is such nonsense. And I'm the biggest skeptic. So which is good. You need healthy skepticism when you're in this, so you
Yeah.
can spot them out and not get ripped off. But I played around with those. I had my first tarot reading in college, and I asked about my mom who was homeless, and I got the lover's card. I had no clue what any of this meant. What does that mean? I thought, oh my God, they're going to think we have this incestuous relationship. Because if you look at the lover's card, guys, it's it seriously has a naked man and woman on it. And I was trying to find it, but um, I was in tears. And she had mentioned certain things, kind of generalized. There's 10 of us in the lobby at college, and we each picked a card, and I got the lover's card. And she's like, okay, she wants, what she was getting was, my mom wasn't deceased, but you can still tap in intuitively, I believe. Just like reading cards and stuff, you can kind of tap into their unconscious. And what the message was, that my mom was saying, she understands that she loves me, and the only way she can love me is to leave me, um, pretty much with my dad and all my siblings, because she was mentally ill and all of that. So that was really huge for me, but I still didn't I mean, I didn't really open up to it until I sobered up from alcohol. And that's what masked everything. And I'll tell you what, if anybody that does any kind of drugs or alcohol, meaning, this is my experience, you're going to get stuff attached to you, I believe, or you're going to attract darker things that you shouldn't. Obviously, you want to protect yourself, but I didn't know any of that stuff, and I used that almost like a protection. So when that cleared up, I started questioning my morals, my values, and my beliefs. I first went into atheism after a devout Christianity.
Hmm.
It's so weird, and it all happened over a year. And it was my awakening, is now is what I know it to be, is when it switched from that, I was like, okay, I still feel unfulfilled. So there's got to be more out there. I don't really believe that I'm an atheist. So then I started going down this hole, or rabbit hole. So it really is. Spirituality is like a
Oh,
banquet. To me, I think of it as a buffet. You take what you want and leave the rest. What works for you may not work for somebody else.
I
So,
love that analogy.
right?
Yeah.
So Yeah, it was, I guess, it was kind of a challenge, I guess.
Yeah.
My family, I would say, they you don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
It's a hobby, or it's something that's not taken too seriously. And I used to put a lot of, and you'll find this in your own path. Those of you out there watching, maybe, or listening later on, just know that you have enough power and believe in yourself that you can do this. You don't have to have your family, your blood relatives, those people that you grew up with are people that you grew up with too. Everybody has the same family dynamic, where they're close or they're not close. Just know your family is those closest to you, like your best friends, people you can count on. Those are the ones you want to be around you in your life, that are gonna somebody that you can look up to. And that's what I found. I found a mentor, and I found a mentor at the last drop of the last thing that happened to me before I quit and before I met Danny Joe. Was I found my mentor and co-authored a couple of books with her, Debbie Duncan, um, on Amazon. So you can look that up if I put a plug in there.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
We'll talk about your books. No, but
Yeah.
we definitely should talk about your books.
Yeah. So um, I'll let you.
Yeah, no.
Sorry,
So
I'm.
that's
I
fabulous. Really, your spirituality has been there your whole life, just kind of has showed up in different forms. But I love what you talked about with attachments when you use drugs and alcohol, because that's actually what my last book is about. And
mm,
how
oh,
I almost died drinking because of a dark energy. And you probably
oh
don't know
my
this, Andy,
God.
but I've
No, I
actually
didn't know
only
that.
been sober for 3 years.
I had no clue you were
Yeah.
even. How long had you been?
I
Are you okay with? I guess we can
Yes.
talk about
I
that.
don't know what just moved, but something just moved in this room.
I,
Yes, because I write about it in the book. I never really struggled greatly with alcohol, but towards the end where I was struggling with alcohol, it was because of dark energy. And my mom was an alcoholic, and everybody in her family is alcoholics. And so it was an ancestral pattern that I was trying to overcome. And I knew that spirit was trying to protect me, that I had to give that up to be able to do this work fully. And if I didn't, like, I was going to have to walk away from it because like
oh,
something bad was going to happen to me and or someone else. But yeah, so Illuminate the Dark is where I talk a lot about that. A lot of the people watching have probably some of them have read it, but
that's beautiful, and
yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
And you have the physical copy in your hand, or you have one, right? It's
Yes.
Isn't that the best feeling to
Yeah.
have, to actually
Over
hold
there
a
on the
book
shelf.
that you published in your hand?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. It's actually my third book because I wrote my first book kind of a little bit about my life, and then I
Yeah,
published a journal and then this book. But I have your book. I bet I didn't even think
I
about that. I
need
bet
to
it's
get
not
your
down here.
books. So I feel like a idiot. I
You
didn't
what?
I didn't even know you had, I
You know
guess
what? We just have not connected in so long, Andy. I
it
think life
has been
just
a while.
happens. And this came out just recently, so it's not been out long. But big, big, it's big something. I know the name of your book and I can't get
Oh, yeah,
it.
Little Book of Big Evil.
Little Book of
Yep,
Big Evil. Fabulous book. Did you publish two with her though?
yep. Those were the only two that I did. Um, and she's gone on to do, like, she's already made a huge series of books and a
Cool.
couple other ones after me, but she's used in AI technology as well. So she's calling in the guides. I believe she's doing that.
Yeah.
Ask the guides to create the AI using these terms, and which is great. You could do with spirit when you're writing a book. I need the specialist in writing to channel through and get what needs to come through. And you'll notice on that book too, there is a Saint Bert, what's his name? I forget his name. This is horrible. But he's a charm on the front of the skull on the cover of the book. And
Okay,
it's a protection medal.
that's cool.
And it was intentional
That's
so that,
awesome.
those reading it doesn't kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it's
No, I love it.
so.
I've read your book and I wish I knew it's probably upstairs in my bookcase. Anyway, you guys check it out on Amazon. Uh is it St. Michael?
This one is not
St.
Saint
Michael.
Michael. Uh,
That's okay.
gosh darn it.
It might come to you.
Yeah.
Is it St.
Oh,
Benedict?
yes. Saint Benedict.
That's what I wear because it has the
Oh
exorcism
my
cross.
God. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Saint Benedict's medal. Yep.
yeah. I never take them off.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, definitely for anything like possession. I mean, any of that.
yeah, it's
Um,
funny. Jen said St. Michael and Ginger said St. Benedict, and Deanne said, I was going to say St. Benedict.
yeah, good. You
They've
guys
heard
are,
me talk about
and
it.
exactly, Saint
Mhm.
Michael is just as good too.
Oh, yeah.
They're all
Good
amazing.
protectors.
Um, so I did want to show this off just because I thought this was
Okay.
kind of cool. It's you can we got a wood burner, one of those professional ones, and
Yeah.
like this is just a practice one, but this is the Fool card. But it was a Fool card. I don't know if
Yes.
I can.
No, if
Yeah,
you hold it back where it was, there you go, right there. Yeah,
let's see.
it's pixelating a little bit.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
Fabulous.
it's some design from a deck, and we were doing pendulum boards with that, so you can create anything.
How
It's
cool is that?
I'm like, oh my God, how practical. And so,
That's cool. You should make those and sell them.
and you still do your oils, right?
Yeah, I've always used essential oils ever since, I was struggling with mental health stuff, and it's a big part of my journey. We have them in the store. It's not, I do a little education on it here and there, but
Right.
yeah, I
But I, I don't know why I feel compelled to say this, but it's almost like, and maybe you do this or this is part of your work. I know it's been a while, so, but chakra, I keep getting chakra, chakra, chakra work for you, or you're using, I don't, do you lay people down and then you do the pendulum or you do something around their centers, or
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
energy healing on people.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So,
actually have been doing a lot of exorcisms recently.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. We call it spirit releasement therapy because it's a
Right.
little more acceptable maybe for people to not be afraid of.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I do energy healing, and I actually do kind of combined things like soul retrieval and energy
Oh
healing,
yeah.
and kind of combined sessions for whatever people needs. But there's been a lot of people with attachments lately popping back up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You were talking about that attachment, that dark energy that you had.
Mhm.
Mine during my period of drinking was my mother herself was
Wow.
my attachment. And I know it was her because she was an alcoholic and she had passed at that time. And that's when I really ramped up my drinking for 12 years or
Wow.
so. And I just could feel her sucking the energy out of me. Like she hadn't crossed. I believe this is how I believe it,
Yep.
or think it is. But I don't think she had crossed over. Like she felt like she was just really guilty. about things. So then she was like next to me all the time, like a leech. And I didn't really realize it because I would just drink and I'd cry about her and think about her. And it just got stronger and stronger until I just had to, I couldn't really get over the grief because those messages coming through kept feeding it or that energy, I guess,
Yeah.
and then sent her off,
Yeah.
to the other side and told her, you don't have to feel so guilty. You were ill. Like they
Yeah.
don't know that when they don't cross over. I feel like you don't have to the first time. Like when you go over, when I say that, I mean like when you die, I think that, or I feel like they go over, or they choose to go over if they want to, or they can choose not to, like in the movie Ghost.
Yes.
I don't know any other way to
That's exactly it. I describe it as a choice. Sometimes they don't go out of fear of things they've done. Sometimes they don't go because they don't realize
just like
time.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so they get stuck in like an earthbound realm, I always call it.
right. Right.
And
Yeah.
they're stuck there with like dark energy though, and they have no ability to like heal. And but yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Somebody just said she never turned to drugs or alcohol with the abuse she went through growing up, so that was a
Oh,
bonus. That's such a good thing. You didn't have to walk that, Judy. And somebody else asked about an attachment. So Lena, just reach out to me and I can give you some information. But yes, you can get an attachment being around people who are living who are negative.
mm-hmm.
That soul transference, what happens is uh, your energy vibration, if it's low enough, anything can attach to you. So it's about vibration mostly. But um, Andy,
Yeah.
tell us what you do. Tell us what services you offer.
I okay, I'm planning on I haven't really offered anything yet. And just because I'm still healing from this um I have a really awful staph infection. That's why my face looks horrible, everyone, just so you know. And it was treated as acne and it's not. So I've had it for 3 years and I finally got diagnosed in last December. So
Oh,
I've suffered through a lot of pain through it. And I like, okay, pain makes you humble. um,
oh,
whatever. But now I'm practicing.
good.
I'm trying to work on a method to where I need to trust myself 110% if I'm going to go into mediumship and cold cases or missing persons or uh, s- anything with law enforcement or loved ones. Because to me, if you're not genuine and you're not accurate, then you have no business being in there.
I
Because
I want
this
to I
is
want to I want to
challenge
disagree with
me.
you. Yes, that
Okay,
because of ego, you will never be 110% ever.
correct. Yeah, you are correct on that. I I did
But I get your point. I get your point.
yes. Yes, for me, but I tell myself I need to be, no, you don't have to be that, and you never will be that. You'll
Right.
never, because we have our own lessons, right? That we
Yeah.
have to learn. If we were 100% all the time, we wouldn't learn from our own work
Right.
and healing, because we have to help each other.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, I agree. Um,
So I know you went through a whole bunch of medical issues actually, and this, what you're dealing with now is kind of
oh
the end of
yeah.
things. So that really kind of took you away. But I would love to see you back doing readings. And I know that there'd be some people watching who would be like, hey, Andy, sign me up. Um, but holler at me when you are offering, because I know that you are a phenomenal medium and a fabulous tarot reader. I've had some fabulous readings with you myself. But I wanted to ask you this. Do you know
Yeah.
Pam Coronado?
I reached out to her. And she does classes and she does missing persons. I actually watched nonstop true crime. I'm
Yeah.
guilty. Guilty as charged. And I
Me
reached
too.
out to her, and I don't know if I ever did hear back from her, but she had
Sign
a
up
page.
sign up for one of her classes. I've taken 3 of her classes.
Is
She's
she
a
in
great teacher.
Arizona or?
Well, she was in California, but she had to move because she had a stalker for a year.
Oh my God.
So now she's on
Okay.
the East Coast.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. I will reach out again because that's crazy you said that. I wouldn't have known her name had I not seen that show. And
Yes.
she, yeah.
Yes.
So,
I'll chat with you about that later too, but you definitely
okay.
should check her out. Um, yeah, cold cases are hard to work on. They are, people watching maybe don't know this, but when you are a medium and you can give your person or your sitter, we call them, information, and your sitter can say yes to you, it strengthens like what you're doing. So then you have this buildup of energy of, okay, I can go further. And when you work on cold cases, nobody can validate things for you.
Hmm.
So you have to really trust and focus on what you're getting. And like Pam says in her teachings, that mind will play tricks on you and it will make up a whole story that is not true.
Oh my God. See what I mean? This is exactly what I need to hear. It's like I need those classes. I should,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's great. And
Even you saying that
yes, she
helps.
would laugh at us. She'd be like, oh, yeah, your mind just ran away with you there. There is nothing there that's connecting. And she wasn't mean about it. Just like,
Right.
yeah, your
Just
imagination took over.
honest feedback, right? And
Yeah,
and it was without guilt or shame, which is perfect.
yes.
Yeah.
And she laughs and jokes. Like she's a great teacher. She gets sidetracked quite often. Yep.
ADHD,
Yep. But
totally.
yeah, she's totally a great teacher. Um, So yeah, let us know when you'll be doing services because
Yeah.
I feel like that'll be an important thing for me to share for you. But also, what do you think the hardest part in your life about being intuitive has been?
Hmm. Oh God, good question. Okay, now don't quote me on this, but I'm just gonna say it like this. Cambo or Cameron, it's my partner. He does readings as well. And he does cord cuttings and he does amazing soul path. Like he can look at different paths that you can choose. Like the universe gives you unlimited doors. Which path is going to be the easiest, quickest, and less painful for you to go through? And he does those kind of readings. Not, I do the practical readings. The hardest part for me in doing that was being intuitive is sometimes like especially if you live with another person that's intuitive, you don't know if they're reading you so much or like can they read your mind, because I swear to God he can read my mind. I'm like, how did I was just thinking that, how did you know? And he's like, I just know. And I said, I can't believe I just did a reading at Walmart. And I think I shared that with you just what 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and I was just in a really jacked up mood. I was just like shopping. I got out and I was just chatty like I am now because I'm getting comfortable. And I go up to a stranger and I talk to her. She was in the pet food aisle, and I said, um, "Well, I know this is gonna be weird. I'm like Teresa Caputo or whatever, going up to the grocery store lady. Can I read you? Oh, you got a dead lady next to you, whatever. But
Oh my,
Cameron, he's not a medium, or he says he's not, but he can hear it through frequency and vibration is how he translates mediumship. So he
okay.
doesn't clairvoyantly or auditory hear it like I do, but he can tell, but he doesn't really know really where the connection is. And I said, it's your grandma. And I said, okay. And she's like, yeah, go ahead. You can practice on me. It's just us three next to cat food. And she has her cart and she's probably 30. I said, I'm going to close my eyes because I want this to be real for me as it is for you. We don't know each other, do we? And she's like, no. It is your grandma on your dad's side because I see him on the right. It's E name, but it's an I sounding name, like Eileen or something like that. Eileen, Ellen, Eileen, and I said she's bringing you flowers. I'm like, this sounds so fucking sounds so made up. It does. It feels like that so much. So
Right.
then I'm just like, okay, I open my eyes and like, and she's crying. I'm like, did I say something? I mean, I didn't mean to upset you. And she's like, no, I'm calling my dad. Oh my God, you're dead on.
Oh,
And we even described the flowers. I said, there's something about the daisies or daffodils, something like that is a flower. And she says, my grandma's name, it was my grandma had passed away 3 months ago around December, and I said, I see her in the cabin. She's by herself. She's sewing. She lived to be around 91. I keep getting 90 to 91, 92. And she validated she was 90 or 91. Her name was Eileen. I sounding name. I thought the letter I, but that's what I got. But it was Eileen with an E.
yeah.
Isn't that weird how that kind of.
Yes.
And then I did get the tattoo. She's getting a tattoo after shopping Walmart with a flower for grandma. It's three huge things. I did not ask the other side. I just said I I guess I'll just play along and practice on someone random. That was the best validation ever, and I still have a hard time believing it.
That's so amazing.
Isn't that wild? I
Yes.
mean, you can't make you can Hollywood could make that up, but I couldn't make that up because I want to be legit and I want it to be real.
I think that's one of the things that you and I have in common. I'm skeptical too. So, like, spirit will want me to tell somebody something very meaningful, but it's not validating. Like,
Right.
and I'm like, no, give me the evidence first. Nope, give me the evidence first. When you give me that,
Exactly.
then I'll give you your message. Um, because I mean, we know anybody could play on emotions, right? And we want to be validating. We want to
Yeah.
get the details. That's my biggest
Mhm.
statement for my girls. You can't make this shit up. I say that all the time.
It is so true.
Yeah. Hey, so let's
Yeah.
also just give Cameron or Cambo a plug real quick. So if they were interested in
Okay.
finding him or his readings, where is that at?
That will be on TikTok. You have private chat here on StreamYard? Um,
Yes.
I'm not able to comment, but I will put it in the comments between us, and if you want to copy and paste. Um, at and I'm on TikTok as well. Um,
Yes. So find Andy on TikTok and then also his partner Cambo.
okay. So we do free readings on there, or I'm gonna start to do free yes and no questions on there. But I tend to like really get curious when I pull cards. And I do want to mention this, by the way, too. Those of you that are mediums and like tarot cards or divination tools, they're just tools, obviously. But there's if you set intentions behind your tools, then that's where the power comes from. Is really from that is your intention. Hey, what am I asking and how you ask it and how you interpret it. And
Absolutely.
you can't really go wrong with it because you're the if I was to read Danny's cards, I could read them the way I read them, but that's not going to be the same perception or message. So we all can read for the same person and yet get a different perception. And that's what's the beauty of being
Yes.
in spiritism. So,
Yes. I can't post it here, but I will post it for you all as soon as
oh,
we're
okay.
done. It won't let me comment either. But what I was just going to say is that's why, even if people don't know tarot, they need to just read intuitively, because reading through your
Exactly.
intuition is so much more important anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will look
Um,
at a card that I've looked at 20 times, and all of a sudden I see something in it that I've never seen before because it's for that person.
if you want to really dive, I'm not gonna say Rachel Pollack is her name, and Pollack, and she's a transgender, male to female, I believe, but she's the one that came up with the, I think it's like 96 or so many degrees of wisdom of tarot,
Okay.
and she will slice and dice every piece of that image apart, each card, how it plays with this and that, how you need to be
Cool.
objective, you don't put your twist on it. um, just like we do in mediumship, we try to deliver what they say,
Yeah.
unless they're swearing up a storm in church, and you don't want to share that with everyone.
Right. I love it. Sometimes some of the things they say and show me, I'm like, I'm a sugar coater, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be hard for me.
I know.
Yeah. But anyway, Lena said, I feel like I need to read tarot cards. My grandmother did it. That's cool. Yeah. So Lena, just pick up a deck, and I think Andy could probably give you some recommendations, but I
Oh
think
yeah.
Biddy Tarot is a good one to start with.
She is very good. Bridget, I can't think of her last name, but that's one of the first ones I started with, was this biddytarot.com. She Bridget is her name. She does it's worldwide too. I know Cambo is teaching tarot. He teaches it. He's
Perfect.
doing a class. 5 weeks. It's a level 1 tarot 5-week course. 33 per week for a 1.5 hour class for 5 weeks.
Nice.
So he's at Cambo Win on TikTok. You can DM him there for that as well. But I would recommend. Oh, let's see here. I have my deck. One sec. All right. The Rider Waite Tarot deck. If you guys can see this, let's see. Okay. Like Wheel of Fortune. This is the
Oh, yeah.
design this is the most universal kind of um, deck there is. Easiest one to start with is the Rider Waite. Rider Waite is the name of the author. That developed it, one of the first ones. So
Yeah, it's been around forever, and
yeah.
it's pretty universal for people that are learning tarot to kind of understand it. They also, Deb said, Andy, you are amazing.
Oh, well,
I
thank you,
agree.
Deb.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered. I really am. I try to be the best version of myself every day. If I really do try. It's better than staying stagnant or going backwards, right? We want to go
Absolutely.
forwards. Um, Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes. So I think I had one other question. I think the last question I really have for you, and if anyone else has questions, we can certainly take questions
Yeah.
from the audience. And Lena, Andy is one of the most genuine people you will ever meet, and I can say that wholeheartedly from all of the people that I met at the beginning of my journey that are not in my life now, because many of them were not genuine. Andy has always been genuine. Um, and truly, I'm blessed to call you friend. So,
I want to show you something because you're gonna make me cry. Seriously. I had it. Oh, damn it! It fell down. I had one of your little oil. I'm not kidding you. I'm going through boxes of 20 years of boxes and stuff, and I saved everything that you had. I have the little oil what are they called? Vials?
Yeah,
Yeah, I had those, and I had them up on my
that's cool.
balcony or whatever it's called.
That's
Sorry, I
really
get so
cool.
nervous.
You're awesome. I mess up my words just because my brain doesn't like to work.
Mine.
And I'm like,
Oh,
wait, turn back on there. That is sweet, isn't
uh,
it?
yeah.
That is sweet. I love that, Andy. I'm gonna come and see you in Ohio.
Are you?
Maybe.
Well, you're more than welcome to come and see me. Because I don't have any friends. I really don't. I don't have any friends.
Hmm.
I really want to get out. We have a lot of haunted places and a lot of really great LeBron James school, the I Promise schools here. It's down the street.
Huh.
We had somebody riding a go-kart right down on a busy street today. It's fun. It's different. East Coast is different than West Coast. Everything's called a township or a village. It's kind of weird.
That's funny.
Isn't it? They don't have that over. Well, I don't think South Dakota does. Do
No,
they? Yeah, that's more of a New England thing.
no. Somebody asked where in Ohio.
Oh, Akron. So it'd be Akron is Akron. So that's just like 20 miles, 30 miles south of Cleveland. So by the Great Lakes. So
Okay,
it's kind of humid here. So whether you guys get, we get, but it turns into more. It doesn't last long at all. The weather changes so quickly. So it's like you're living next to an ocean, but you're not.
that's
It's
crazy.
kind of cool. And I haven't had to water my grass in 3 years.
That's
It's
crazy.
you don't have to water at all. It's green grass all year round, even with snow. I know. And bluebirds, cardinals, there's black squirrels that they accidentally created at Kent University in Kent, Ohio in 1969.
Oh my god.
Yeah, some scientist or somebody. The story goes, I asked the waiter, I said, "What is that thing over there?" I said, "I've never seen that." And they said, "Oh, that's a squirrel, but it's a black squirrel, and they're kind of aggressive, mean with the other squirrels, but they're an accident, and they're only around in this area." And then we have possums that cross the street,
Aw,
and then I have raccoons that, dumpster dive. One of them isn't afraid, and about 3 or 4 feral cats that hang out, and I feed them and I talk to them. And I swear, I don't know where this came from, but I think I can communicate with the animals in a different way than I used to be
yeah,
able to.
cool.
It's weird. Like I can, and there he is. I have to show you guys my dog too.
What is your dog's name? Is it the same dog you used to have?
No, Boo Boo is with Brian back in
Okay,
Montana.
okay.
And Bobcat is here, sitting here all fat and sassy. Ugh, I should make a tarot deck called the Fat Cat Tarot.
Oh my gosh.
He is monster huge. Oh my god, he's like 30 pounds.
Look at him. Bobcat. You are so cool.
Bob.
Love that.
um, and then we have Rhodey. She is my other dog. When we moved here, Danny, I'm telling you, we moved here. I was doing the Good Samaritan thing. Okay. You give back, you get back. Well, I did get back. I got a free dog out of the deal because I drove the guy to his brother's apartment. He had this wiener dog, and he shows up a mini dachshund or dachshund or however some people say it differently. It's a wiener dog, a mini version though,
Oh my
and
god.
she's cute. Rhodey, come here. Rhodey.
So you gave somebody a ride and you got a dog out of it.
Yeah, got a dog out of it. I said I can hold on to her for a couple days, and he's like, okay. I said, well, I didn't get your phone number. He's like, well, I'll just get your phone number. So I gave him Cameron's phone number. He never called, and here she is.
That's
Week
so
later, year later, and she's had puppies since. So
aw.
yeah. So here's little Zachary. Zachary, come here. Come on, you're always around me, and then when I need you around me, you're not.
Bob's
He's
like, I'll come back.
he's a fur ball. He's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
So he's part Yorkie and mini Dachshund. So he's really long, but he's furry. Is he's the only one that had all this hair.
He's so cute.
So Brody. Anyways,
Not coming.
this is
Just because
yeah,
you want, just because you want her to.
yeah.
That's awesome.
This is
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, I have
Um.
one question for you.
Okay.
If you had one piece of advice to give people who are on their spiritual journey or needing some encouragement, what would you share?
I would say, and I hope I can find this. I find it really important to share is one of these cards, and it's a beautiful message, and it is the star. Okay. And if you can see that,
Yeah.
those of you watching, notice how the individual is pouring the water out. That's your emotions. She's got a knee on the ground and then a foot in the water. So that's logic and emotion balancing, right?
Yeah.
Yet she's hopeful because of the star. So when you're going on your spiritual journey, as long as you hold on to hope, the star, hope is what gets you through, and faith will drive you through as well. But hope, you have to have hope in order to continue on, and then faith in yourself. So that's what I would say. If you don't have hope, then it's almost like what's the point? You
Yeah.
know, hopeful in something, a passion, um, hope that things are going to get better. It's not a false promise either, because you control your destiny. You have free will.
Absolutely.
I feel so.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree with that. I think
Yeah.
people don't realize how much power they have over their own life and they keep waiting for something to happen and they just need to get up and make it happen and know like they are strong enough to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
cool.
I'm willing to do those of you, you know, at any point, if you reach out to me or you see me, let's say on another platform, feel free to say that Danny Joe, we know each other, or you saw me from there. So then that way I know, because wouldn't even care. I will give you a free reading, whatever you want during a live or something. Just it helps me and
That's awesome, Andy. I think
something to give back.
everybody here would be fabulously happy with that, but also happy to throw you a donation for that too.
Oh, right.
Yes. You're awesome. I I love that. Cindy said her grandma would say that all the time about hope. I love it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. That's a great message.
Yeah, just hope is like one of those, I don't know. In my life it was used religiously as in a religious context a lot, and I didn't really get it or grasp it until I finally, you know, when you reevaluate your life and you go through some major changes like the tower card. The tower is something that comes out of nowhere. It's like somebody that just says, "Guess what? I'm done with your bullshit, and you're going to treatment."
Yeah.
That's the tower card. So that's what happened. Things like that can really make your life change, and you don't see the hope in it. Like when I want to share this with you specifically, and those that know somebody or are in anything like addiction at all, replace the word alcohol or whatever it is with whatever problem or something that is affecting your life in a negative way that needs to change. you'll want to like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Um, I lost I lost it. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I think
Um,
it's 100% what you were saying is anybody who's going through any adversity like that in life, hope has to be something that we hold on to.
yeah.
And, those I love that you know so much about tarot. I love that you know so much about tarot. I love
I
you talk about the cards like they're friends, like you just know them.
um how you just said that is exactly how you would be able to do it yourself. You do that. I honestly have not heard it that way, and that is so beautiful how you said that. I um I was taught how to do them one way, and then I added on, I expanded onto it. So Debbie teaches tarot. She does. Oh my God, her it's cheap. I think she should charge more, but anyways, she taught me a method, and then Cambo challenged me, and I went tooth and nail with him. I'll tell him that too. I said I didn't want it because I don't want somebody telling me how they want it done. Like
Yeah.
how are you gonna tell me that this means a certain way when I can do that? You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
was being very difficult. So I learned how to do reversals. So that's 78 cards times two. So it's not always the opposite. So you see this. So look at this. It's kind of cool. And the easiest way to learn is you just look at the picture and you say, oh, okay, upside down, where's that money falling into? His hands? The guy that's not to the poor people. So it's reversed. The money's falling back in his hands. He's being a miser. He's not giving back. This is being helpful to those that need it.
Mm,
So yeah,
that's
so it's
cool.
kind of cool. And this is like this person up on the top of the bench there. I always think of somebody just yelling orders to the crew, and they're like, "Okay, I'll do it." That's your teamwork card, your leader card. So it's just and it's
Awesome.
a pentacle, so it would mean anything practical, I would say, earthly,
Very cool.
not mental. Mental and emotional would be like cups and swords. Action is wands. So it's kind of like personalities. You're playing with personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That is cool. So Lena just said, "Can I read myself and how many cards do I pull?" And Lena, I'll just share with you, and if Andy wants to, he can answer this too. But you absolutely can pull cards for yourself. I mean, most people do. If you want more guidance, you can absolutely have someone else give you guidance as well. But it just depends on what you're wanting to do, Lena. You have to learn about spreads and you could
Hmm.
pull a single card for guidance or a past, present, and a future or a 10 card Celtic cross or many different things. But Andy, do you want to add to that?
I do, because you just got me excited about something. I decided to do a little bucket challenge. What is okay? I mess up on sayings all the time, so it's called bucket list. Whatever. A bucket list, and my challenge is to learn cartomancy. Yes, tarot is a form of cartomancy, but I'm talking about cards, playing cards. So I did. I bought a huge. It's like I don't know if it's at a dollar store or somewhere, but it's like a deck of cards about 8.5 by 10, and I write little notes on them, and I'm learning all of the suits, the hearts, diamonds, um, and
Cool.
there's only 52, not 78, so there's not a major, and the court cards. So the challenge is to read playing cards, and they're pretty similar. Yeah,
Very
so
cool.
it's
That's cool.
fun.
Yeah. I that's always been in the back of my mind to learn, but it's just never come up for me. I'm very curious about it though. Very curious.
I know you can mix mediumship with with any kind of tool.
Yeah.
Tarot, you can. I'll ask the other side. I said, okay, um, true crime. Here's something real quick that I do to practice. So those of you practicing, whether it's tarot or not, just use your intuition. Write it down. Let's say this is your assignment. Your assignment is watch a true crime, maybe get the gist of the what's publicly available, but only watch the first few minutes. And when you start questioning, you're like, I wonder who did it or who was involved. Hit pause, pull the cards, or write it down your intuition and say, it was this person. I feel like, or I know. If you're very clear cognizant, um, if it sounds ridiculous, a pickle, whatever, write it down, pull cards, press play, and see if you were correct. Okay? Because you will get so damn close to the story. I'm not kidding
Cool.
you. You will.
That's
And
cool.
if you ask them and you say, was there a person involved? I need to see a king card, queen card, or a knight card. Those are people cards, actual real people. You can tell the tarot or the other side, these are people for me when I read. So every time they come up, they're real people. So, and when they come up, I'm like, oh my God, it was a younger male was involved. And then I hit play and it's like, yeah, the son had did this or something.
That's
It's just
so cool.
amazing. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
You guys, don't you think that Andy should already be on TV doing his own thing?
that would be fun.
You remind me a lot of James Van Prague.
Oh, I was on his live the other day. I told him,
Oh,
I said, how handsome are you? I saw you on Unsolved Mysteries years ago. He was
that's
like, thanks, Andy. Because I have this um, filtered picture. Obviously, it's my professional photo.
yeah,
Um, and he's awesome. I liked him.
that's
I
cool.
like
Yeah.
John Edward too. And
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
oh,
I I went to one of his lives and I was sitting in the second row, and I'm like
oh
just
my God,
blushing.
you
Like,
got to go.
yeah, he's so
Holy,
good looking, but he's very like intense. Like if you don't understand it, he's like, I'll stand here till you figure it out. Like he's
yeah,
like
he
in your
does.
face.
He
Yeah,
does. He does that.
yeah.
You
But
know
he's
who
nice.
else I want to meet? And I think she would be a good one. She's on, um, Cindy Kaza or
Mm,
Kaza. She's a pretty well-known psychic, or coming about, so to speak. Interesting. If you look her up, Kaza,
huh.
she was on Discovery Plus doing a show on some hauntings there, and
Cool.
I went to one of the places she was on. Is in San Diego. Oh my God, you have to go there, Danny Joe. You have to. San Diego Old Town during Halloween. uh,
Mm,
We went
crazy.
there. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Lots of
That's cool.
attachments.
That's funny. Yes, lots of attachments. Lena, I think that Andy just answered your question about claircognizance, but also we held up the end of his show when we met or when we went because Donnie's mom wouldn't leave him alone. That's awesome, Deanne. That's
Oh
awesome.
wow.
My clients in Nebraska, they must have went to see him.
Oh
But
yeah.
well, I have to tell you, it has been so fabulous seeing you tonight. You guys, I will post up the contact info for Andy and Cambo, and I'm so grateful to have this time with you. It's been far too long.
This has been fun. This has been
Yeah.
a lot of fun. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your questions. Do follow me or like my show, like Danny says, and mention her because I do want to send business your way or clientele. I will definitely do that. So
Thank
I'll
you.
need your info as well. And many blessings to you,
Thank
everybody.
you, Andy. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We hope you have a fabulous night.
Good night.